back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for videos like this.
I don't know how familiar you are with dinosaurs, but she was the first ceratopsian dinosaur discovered on the fossil record. So, existed about 40 years before the Triceratops.
Wow.
Her ancestors, I should say. She's only about, I don't know, 4 years old?
What is she?
We're not exactly sure. Sorry?
What is she again? What's species?
She's an aqualops.
I love it.
Puppet AI are real.
Trump, everybody, I'm staying here. I love myself. Yeah. No. Yes. Oh, how are you? Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Are we drunk? I am drunk.
No.
It's a fun. Hey.
Is that the apocalypse cult?
You guys tell me that dog don't look real? I just called the customer and they told me that that's a fake dog. I was here for like 5 minutes. I was scared. They knew exactly what they was doing.
There's a device that can see demons and other entities in our realm. Let's talk about it. So there is a scientist by the name of Daniel Melms, and he created a device that can see entities and anomalies all around us and took pictures of it. Right here you can see there's different pictures of what he captures. So how does this work? It uses quantum mechanics, electromagnetism, and it uses anomalies. Now, what are the anomalies? The anomalies are these different images that you see here. These images don't appear anywhere else in the film. So you can clearly see that they're here. And we've been always talking about battling a spiritual war. These might be the entities that we're actually battling against, and he was actually able to capture them. So when we're talking about, whether or not other entities are around us, he captured them on film. And we talked about the other goggles, the diacyanin goggles.
The Apache story, the Apache creation myth, is very fascinating, and it's different from some of the other tribes because they say that an ancient bearded man came down from heaven in a silver flying disc, and he began to create everything which is good, everything that is good and useful and lovely. And then shortly thereafter, a portal opened where a reptilian God-man, some sort of a reptilian in the form of a human, but not a human, comes through the portal and begins to teach mankind sorcery, alchemy, witchcraft, magic, how to open up portals, which is just very interesting that they would have this story of a good creator coming down and creating that which is good, and then this reptilian coming through another portal corrupting what the good creator made.
Where a woman says she was enjoying the pool Wednesday night when she saw a strangely shaped and unfamiliar object falling from the sky just over there. The whole thing now caught on video.
Then I look up here to the sky, I see something falling down, so I pulled out my phone and I zoomed in, and it was right about there.
Colleen McCormick was out by her hot tub around 9 Wednesday night when she says she saw something strange and unfamiliar up above.
I see something falling down from the sky. It had blinking lights and looked like it was on fire or something. And it was just coming down really fast. I had no idea what it could have been.
McCormick captured this 8-second video from her backyard showing an unidentified object headed straight down.
There's 3 things. So it looks like it's fire or a big light.
Expecting to hear a loud boom of some sort, she ran to the front of her home to hopefully capture the landing.
My heart was pounding because I just looked up. I'm like, oh God, what is about to happen right now?
But McCormick says the blinking object quickly vanished from her view.
It seemed like it was coming down so fast. It was just it knows what it's doing. It just goes like that. I don't know. It's weird.
With having never seen something like it before, McCormick's mind went racing.
I thought it was some explosive. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not the only one that saw this. I'm not going crazy. I didn't see things, but I got it on video, so I'm I did definitely see something.
Now, the FAA was not able to comment on the video McCormick took, but they said they did not get any reports of debris in the area. Both Pembroke Fire and police said the same thing. On scene in Pembroke, Alyssa Azara for your local.
Is someone fighting for us up there?
TikTok, I have a question. How is it raining with no clouds? How is it raining with no clouds? Look, people have umbrellas. Nothing other than there's a rain and cats and dogs. No clouds. Something's going on.
The Coast Guard reported 6 to 8 foot swells, 30 knot winds, and even snow when a freak storm rolled over Lake Tahoe.
Do you still believe Project Harp isn't real?
Let me get this straight, just so we're all on the same page. Celebrity Jamie Lee Curtis's kid, trans. Dwayne Wade, trans. Naomi Watts, trans. Megan Fox, non-binary and trans. Cher, trans. Cynthia Nixon, trans. Marlon Wayans, trans. Charlize Theron, trans. Heather Dubrow, trans. Annette Bening, trans. Kari Payton, trans. Jennifer Lopez, trans. Busy Phillips, trans. And now, Robert De Niro's son, trans. Must be something in Hollywood's wall.
Abused, brainwashed, and sacrificed in the name of fame and fortune.
The contract with the demonic forces, Art, is real simple. Give me your talent. Give me your gift, no matter what it is. Comedy, acting, dance, sing. Give me your gift. And in exchange for your gift, marry your gift to the devil, and I will give you everlasting life on this earth. So all of us, Art, have to make a decision. Do I want eternal life on earth with the devil? Or do I want everlasting life in heaven with the Lord? And here's the thing, Art. In the movie, the vampires started to pray with Sammy. Sammy was praying, and they started praying with him. Do you know what that meant? That was the demons telling Sammy, you praying don't mean nothing, because although you praying to God, you're using your gift for the devil. Although you're praying to God, you're using your gift for the devil. And the vampires kept begging Sammy. They said, we need your gift. We want to make music with you. They said, this world don't want you. This world has not given you an opportunity. Give your gift to us, the demons. And in exchange for your gift, we will give you eternal life on earth.
Payasos de feria se mueven solos.
There's a place called Secret Canyon where there's allegedly a portal, some kind of interdimensional portal. And I thought all of this was just crazy nonsense. But there are incredibly brave and super, super interesting people, Jeremiah Horstman and his wife, Alexandra, particularly, who live in Sedona. And they've been doing some really clever on-the-ground research. One of the things we did, a lot of the stuff we got, as so often happens, you can't put it in the story because you can't get these people to go on camera. But there was a number of people who would privately admit that they'd been walking in what is public land, and they'd be stopped by men with guns, men in uniform with automatic weapons, clearly highly trained elite soldiers, probably tier 1 operatives from the way they moved. And they would basically order people, go away or we will kill you. And if you looked at a particular place over Secret Mountain, you would see this big orb being escorted by helicopters rising from behind Secret Mountain.
lightning strike. Lightning hit the fence, runs along the fence here, and guess what? It goes into the house. Now we're gonna check out what's inside the house now. And here we are inside the other part of the wall. And as you can see what the lightning did, came through the block wall, blew out the shower wall, damaging this entire shower. I mean, look at the shrapnel. Shrapnel went across and damaged the other side. This is pretty crazy. Luckily, the homeowner, she had just gotten home from work. She was gonna take a shower, but for some reason, she always takes a shower when she gets home from work. But this day, she decided not to.
Grounded or not, lightning is still a force of nature.
Yeah, what's going on here? Got one guy just stood there. He's been stood there for about an hour. This other guy just stood here. This woman just stood here.
There's a guy in trees over there.
That guy just stood there. There's a guy in 2 trees over there, and then this woman just stood here. But like, what they just stood here doing mad stuff.
What the fuck?
Right now they've all just started walking. Just walking away. Just all walking randomly. They're all just stood there, stopped. Now they've all just started walking. Look, she just got on her thing and just started walking. What is going on? What's happening? Have we just witnessed some like... Have we just witnessed some sort of... What was it? I don't get it. What's going on? What? They've just started walking. Look, she's just walking.
Just NPCs, mate. You gotta speak to them to start a quest.
I think there's something to putting a victim of abuse through trauma and them getting supernatural abilities. Because you see it in Matilda, you saw it in Stranger Things, and we know Stranger Things was based on the Montauk Project. We were actually doing that. They're putting children through traumatic situations and torture in order for them to exhibit supernatural abilities. Same thing happened with him.
Well, it's like
his dad beat him down, and then he becomes a psychic.
It goes to the trauma part. Goes into like these superheroes, right? They all lose their parents.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that trauma underlining, and you know, these people who do these Montauk projects, they look for those kids that don't have parents, because that's already a primer for the trauma.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Dang. That's probably what the Gifted program is about,
Yeah.
bro. Because they're trying to find these kids that are just like, you know, have these supernatural abilities, and maybe that's one of the precursors if they've been exposed to trauma at a young age.
I went to Lomita Magnet. That's a magnet school.
Yeah,
so if you look up a magnet school, there's special programs to seek out these kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think. That meteor flew over today, Williamston, South Carolina. And this is what I found. And I don't know what that is. It's got a glow to it. Feels cold to the touch.
Is that sky highs from the firmament?
Y'all got the audacity to challenge me in my own house? Come on, bro. The hide and seek king. I know where y'all at. I see you right there, bro.
A lot of weird symbolism. Why does Mario have such a ubiquitous association with gaming in the Super Mario 64 Freemasonic breakdown? And it starts in a Masonic hall with a checkerboard floor. And then you collect the coins, which are pentacles from the tarot. They are gold coins with a pentagram star on them. The breakdown goes that you can see mirror images of like the Tower of Babel, and the fact that you enter into other worlds by jumping through portals that are paintings. Also, when you do fly, the wings aren't on your back, the wings are on the hat. Well, that's invoking Mercury, and some people will break it all the way down to say you are going through the tree of life through a Masonic hall as Mario.
Todo muy lindo hasta que...
I mean, indeed, offer it.
Why my mans told me hurry, come quick, and sent me this Addy? Anything for my mans. Love that nigga to death, man.
Trust me, your man is gone, twin.
Bro, what the hell? How the hell does this keep happening to me? What? Where did you come from? How are you even like... What made you come over here? Bro, what the hell, bro? How does this keep happening? Bro, you gonna follow me now?
They have 9 lives. What's not clicking? Maybe she needs another sacrifice to power up.
The things they use, they showed you in Man in Black. The thing where you look at it, everybody look, and they blink and everybody forget what the happened, and then they tell everybody what happened. They did the same thing to the public. And a lot of people don't remember that, but they do remember this though. They remember in the 90s how you used to watch TV and you'll see a blue, red, purple screen just come on the TV. Like, this is a public service announcement. We're checking for something. And it'll just be a weird ass screen to come on. Y'all remember that? This one they was erasing. All right, they had to keep doing it to erase. They did it for years until we switched over to digital TV. You used to be watching TV. Y'all remember that? 90s, early 2000s, before we went to digital. You would be watching TV to come on. Screen come on. It'd be green, red, white, pink, blue, black, blue. You're like, what the f***? And they're like, dee. And you be like, you just sitting there and like, what the f*** they on? Programming our neurons, erasing them. We didn't even know. We didn't even know. You see what I'm saying? That's what they was doing that for. This is a public service. It won't show you some colors and you in the crib, you like, and they did it so much you wouldn't even leave. You was used to it. Like they like, oh yeah, that come up sometimes.
I'm gonna do 2 pumps.
Why is it so clumpy? The last one you used to.
And it's not AI.
Sweetie, I gotta show you this video again. What the heck is that? What the... Oh, and with the lightning too?
When they go, this is the best tornado intercept of my life.
Oh my gosh, it's coming towards me, guys!
And that thing just walked super fast on the water.
Oh my God, the bus has just had a major crash and now he's speeding off. Get away from the windshield. We're gonna die. We're actually gonna die. What's he doing? Oh my God. Oh my God. We're actually gonna die.
Oh, le bec qui arrivait.
That toss was personal, like a tired parent.
Watch this, y'all. Okay, you see there's nothing there, right? You see how they are responding to my vibration? They will line up right in front of me, watch. They really are. They have gathered at this end. Now watch me walk to the other end and they will come with me. Do you see them swimming to find me? They're coming this way to me. Isn't this extraordinary? To me, it just says your blessings will follow you. They want you. They want to find you. They will not leave you. Your blessings are your friends, your resources. You know how Jesus turned the 5 fish into 5,000 or whatever the number was. The point is, the Lord allows resources to gather in its name. And when you are one with Spirit, you wear that divine name. You have that divine vibration. Resources come to you. And sometimes they're saying, like, we're not here for the resources you offer. We're here to be the resource for you. You're so used to giving that you can't even understand when we are wanting you to receive. We're wanting you to understand the depth of your spirit. This is an exercise in faith. This is showing you that we follow the resources. What is meant for you will not lose you. You can move from one side of the lake to the other. We will come with you. As long as you stay in alignment and as long as your vibration is one that we can recognize, we will come to you. The only reason your resources don't come is because they don't recognize you. They don't recognize your vibration. When you're in fear and doubt and worry, your resources don't recognize that. But when you're standing in the calm, clarity, and peace of abundance, it is so easy to magnetize your desires to you.
The fallen angels know since the resurrection, it's over.
Jesus went and told them.
Since then, the fallen angels continue to tell their descendants of their offspring that they can still win. And they have to play this out. And there's a place for them in the future time when they renew the earth. So just as Mitra or Shiva destroy the earth as the destroyer god, it's also a renewal of the earth god, that it will renew out of the ashes. And these bloodlines are like the phoenix coming out of the ashes in that sort of inner workings. So they think they can win. So they want this end time. They just want to do it before the ordained time if they can.
Do you get scanned at the airport? No, I pass. What you do is just tell them I opt out. Sometimes they're kind of a pain in the ass because they don't want to come pat you down. But like that big device gives you enough dose of radiation for the entire year. So if you're traveling nonstop, you're scanning through that. All the EMF exposure, all the stress also putting on the body. And it's the compounding of everything over time. And that's why people feel complete garbage when they go from one side of the country to the other. It's not just the time zone.
What is the strangest way somebody could become possessed?
For me, the most odd thing that happened was a guy
named John who was trying to open his third eye by watching a YouTube video.
Jeez.
Now, you think, YouTube, how could that hurt somebody? Well, it wasn't the YouTube, it was the demon that was coming through the YouTube video, and he felt it go in him, and that was the beginning. That guy was years. Really? We worked with him for years, and then he finally got arrested, thrown in prison, so I couldn't even see him anymore, but that was the worst case.
And anybody got the link to the video?
What the fuck is that, bruh? What?
A lot of humans on this planet have got souls in them, but some of the humans on this planet are soulless, and they've got other entities that are controlling them. So a lot of the work that we do, we call it shadow parasite work. So there's parasites in the jungle that will go inside caterpillars, and they'll make the caterpillars climb to the top of the tallest tree. And then once the caterpillar gets to the top of the tallest tree, they'll explode, and all of that mush and that gunk will go over the leaves. Other caterpillars will come along and eat it, and then they will get infected by the parasite. They will climb to the top of the tallest trees and explode, and that's how the parasite grows.
Wow.
These parasites are like invisible. They're in human beings. They take over the gut, they take over the brain.
I've had the chance to sell my soul, and I've declined every time. And believe me, if you guys could even understand the money I've declined, we're not talking money where I have to gamble. We're talking guaranteed. We're talking like I would absolutely be a billionaire right now just to keep my principles and keep my soul intact. I've been offered many times to sell it. Many times. I give up 50 M's a month just to do it clean. So don't come to me with some bull.
Has your research ever gone far enough to kind of verify that people are doing whatever they have to do to get to a certain level?
This will make a lot of sense. How many people can rap? A gazillion. How many people can make beats? Another gazillion. So what separates them? What puts you in the front of the line?
Can't just be talent.
No, it can't be talent. Oh, there has to be something else. And then the devil is like, no, the reason why Jesus, well, I mean, he was Jesus, so he wasn't going to take the devil's offer. But he didn't want the devil's offer because the devil wanted service unto him. If you take this, bow down to me, I'll give you this. If you get the devil's fame, all earthly fame is from the devil, period. He's the prince and power of the air. He's the God of this world. He wouldn't have offered it to Jesus if he didn't have it to give. All these kingdoms, I'll give you. This was his domain. If you take his riches, you owe him something, so he has to get something. Then he has to use that so that you don't ever renege. Nobody reneges. Nobody gets out. Who was world famous, world renowned, and got out? If you don't want the deal, return the goods. Do they ever return the goods?
For that moment, I thought, oh, everything's peaceful now. Like, I'm with God. Like, I'm chill. I was going bold. Media's hating, whatever. And then October 2021, I get offered a multi-million-dollar deal from a label. And they said, we're going to make you the male Adele. You can't say God. You can't say Jesus. You can't talk about Trump. You can't post. We're going to take over your social media. We're going to write 2 albums for you. It's going to be a 3-year contract. And I was going to do it. And I was like, okay, this is from God. Oh my God, I'm good now. Like, God's blessing me. Yay. Like, you know, and I'm sitting with my friend and he said, if you sign that, you're selling your soul. And I said, why? I'm not doing rituals anymore. And he was like a heavy Christian. And I was just learning about like Jesus. So I didn't know much about, you know, anything yet. But he said, what profits a man to gain the world and lose his soul? You're willing to take that money and not talk about anything you experienced and just basically shut up. This is a silencing contract. This isn't a record deal.
It's a censorship contract.
Yeah.
That they create a split personality, one that they suppress.
Yeah, kids got to go off with its life and have a healthy, happy life and try to be, you know, somewhat functional. And if you give them enough trauma up front, like they got to partition that somewhere.
Yes.
And that partition part becomes a different person. For all intents and purposes, it's a different consciousness that can be programmed as a different fully functioning person that could go out and interact with the world, gather information, come back. And the pisser about it is that one doesn't know the other one exists and it doesn't remember what happened to the other one.
Remember, fam, to become an adult is to be adulterated, groomed into corruption.
There's a feeder group to the main group.
What does that mean?
It means they invite entertainers and different people. They figure out who they can hand select for the main group.
I got invited.
I did too.
Done that, Ali would have, well, I would have just been killed outright. Ali, they would have turned into Muti, you know, they've eaten her, you know.
Hannibals?
Well, they don't eat, they use the child for Muti. That means if you eat her finger or something, then you have luck for life, you know. You know, you must have heard of that, surely.
Like satanic stuff, like, is that witchcraft?
Well, you go back in time, you know, the Vikings and all the people before that, you know, the different ages in which we live, you know.
So what would have happened if
the police said to me that if they had killed her, they would have used her for Muti. Muti, it's medicine, witchcraft. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah.
So she would have been her head would have been dangling from a taxi mirror, you know. They boil the head until it's shrunk. They hang it from a taxi.
You start to realize how easy it is to manipulate an entire population of 366 million people. It's not much harder than herding sheep.
In the 1930s, there was a law passed that the United States government shall not participate in any type of misinformation propaganda campaigns directed at its citizens. And in 2012, the Obama administration and the freaking Congress that sat then repealed it. A lot of other people don't know this. There's only 2 presidents in U.S. histories to suspend the writ of habeas corpus, the right to due process, George W. The other one, even bigger lie, Abraham Lincoln.
Do you want to hear about the greatest imposters of human history?
Please.
Queen Elizabeth I was actually a man.
What?
I don't believe it.
So when she was 9 years old, she was sent off to a town called Bisley because there's a plague going on. King Henry, he hadn't seen her for many years. And so he was out on a hunting trip close to Bisley. And so he's like, I'm going to go visit my daughter. On his way there, Queen Elizabeth got sick and died. King Henry VIII obviously had a very bad temper. She's looking for a girl that looks close to Queen Elizabeth. Can't find any girl. But Queen Elizabeth's friend, they said a very pretty boy, red hair. So they dressed him up like Queen Elizabeth. And then King Henry got there. There was no suspicion. She became queen. If you look back, she had no weakness of a woman, but the mind of a man. She would always wear a high collar. She refused to get married. But the kicker, hundreds of years later, in Bisley, there's a graveyard very close to the house where Queen Elizabeth grew up. There's an unmarked grave. And when they excavated it, there was a little girl, the same age as when Queen Elizabeth would have died. She was wearing Tudor clothes, like royalty clothes, but an unmarked grave.
This world, fam, is a stage. It's all about manipulation.
So I was looking around my room for something to test this if my TV's watching me theory. And so I've never seen a Lego commercial, ever. It's never been presented to me. I've seen the commercials around my son, but I've never seen ads, Lego ads or anything like that. So I played with some Legos in front of the TV. I just said the word Lego 1,000 times and was just holding it, showing it to the TV like Lego, 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 Lego. And lo and behold, my first Lego ad. And of course it's Saturn.
What is happening now is not about these people gaining more power, because they've had all the power they wanted up to this point, because while humanity was not aware that they were being manipulated, they weren't aware that their resources were being stolen, they weren't aware that their energy was being vampired, these guys could go on controlling us forever in that stage. Then what is happening now is not about them gaining more power. It is that desperate last death throw attempt of the control system to hold on to the power it already had. And the reason that it's now manifesting is because they can see down what we call the timeline from their level of observation just outside of our visible light reality, and therefore they could see this time coming. They've been preparing for this for ages to throw it in now. And that says many things. It says an incredible thing about what's happening, and that is the power of this transformation, the power of this awakening is so profound that they have to throw all this stuff at us to try to head it off. And they will head some people off. They will keep some people in the box. But the tide is turning. Most crucially, the tide is vibrationally changing. And they're going to throw it. And for the next few years, it ain't going to look for a second as if, from the perspective of the vast majority of people on this planet, that anything's happening other than the control system is getting its way. That the control system, the Orwellian control system, the fascist global state is actually going to get what it wants. And people are going to say, oh my God, we're doomed. And then the tipping point's going to come vibrationally. And this is going to come down so fast eventually. And I'm 58, and it's going to happen well before I leave here. Because I want a bit of the other side of the epoch, thank you very much. I've had all this side, I want a bit of that side before I leave here.
Let's unite and rise together. And that's a wrap for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.